One sec. Yeah, I'm live now. Yeah, so I'm just going to be interviewing Edgame. So you may have seen Ed on my videos in Mexico, on his journey from how he went from being shy to overcoming his social anxiety and actually starting to coach guys, with daygame basically. So yeah, how are you guys doing? How's your weekend going on this Sunday? Just waiting for Ed to come in now. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask Ed in the live stream or myself. Just waiting for him to come in. Give me a sec. How's your guys' Sunday been going? Have you been out gaming or you've been staying in the house? It's pretty good weather actually here in Brighton right now. Pretty chilled at the moment. Let me open the door. But yeah, guys. I mean, Ed. He basically we met in Mexico, so I was literally walking down in Playa del Carmen. You might have seen on my videos, and then yeah, pretty much met Ed. Met a lot of other cool guys in Mexico. So I recommend you guys travel and start networking, and you're going to meet a lot of like-minded people. Let me just get on Ed. One sec. Hey mate, did you get the email? So yeah, I recommend you guys go where you're treated best. I've been looking at a guy's channel called Nomad Capitalist. He talks about going where you're treated best, basically. Let me Ed. Oh, hey Ed, how you doing? Oh, wait a sec. Yeah, I think you got to connect your mic. Yeah. Mic. You need to connect your mic. Yeah. If you you got to connect your mic. It says your mic is not unmute the mic. Yeah. I'm not sure why it's. Yeah. So yeah, just having a few technical issues, but that's okay. So yeah, basically this guy, Nomad Capitalist, he talks about going where you're treated best. So yeah, just trying to get this technical issue.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Wait.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Testing.
It's working. Yeah. Yes.
Thing is,
Can you hear me now? You can hear me, yeah? You can hear my mic, yeah?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, I can
Oh,
hear
you
you.
can hear me now. Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you now. Yes.
Oh, good, yeah.
The thing is,
Yeah.
it's just a bit weird trying to get it on the earphones.
Quite a lot of
Let me
technical.
just set up my camera real quick. 1 sec.
Okay, yes. Yeah, quite a lot of technical issues, but that's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, this is this is new live StreamYard. I've only used it once, so
Yeah, I've never done this before actually. So yeah.
yeah, I've seen this is the way that people are like doing interviews, because with StreamYard I'm going to upgrade I think today, but basically you can stream on YouTube, Facebook, multiple platforms at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty awesome. But yeah, how's it going, man, in Ukraine?
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. It's yeah, everything's good here, man. Like the lifestyle here, it's like it's hot as fuck, or at least not overly hot, but like it's nice weather. The culture's cool. The girls are the hottest in the world, and yeah, it's just a good place. Like it's nice. It's not without its difficulties, but it's a nice place. Like right now in the summer, it's like the best place to be, I think, for day gamers.
Wow, that's awesome. So how would you say it's different to Mexico then?
Well, language barrier is one of the biggest things. I'd say that like more people speak English in Mexico, probably at least in Playa, because in Playa there's the American influence, and yeah, more, and also it's just generally more touristy. So yeah, more people they speak English there. But at least for me, because I speak Spanish, it's not a huge issue. And in fact, when I don't speak any English, it actually gives me an advantage because I can actually speak Spanish with them. But here, it's just culturally different. Like, Playa or Mexico in general is more sexually liberal. Here, it's like the opposite. It's very sexually conservative. So, most of the girls here, they are looking for like long-term relationships. And it's not uncommon to have a girl who's like 21 looking for a husband, literally looking for a husband. So, it can be a bit tricky. Yeah, I mean, what I'm finding really, what I have found is that for me, like it's very easy for me to, get numbers or get Instagrams, get some texting going. Getting dates is kind of easy as well, except they are very flaky when it comes to actually organizing the date. For some reason, it might just be my bad luck, but it is they can be quite flaky. But it's hard to get laid here because most girls are looking for like a long-term thing. So it's not an easy place to get laid, but yeah, if you like a challenge, it's definitely good.
All right, that's awesome. So yeah, guys, I wanted to bring on Ed. I'm going to upload this later. But yeah, basically Edgame in Mexico, and I want to talk about your journey. From going from where you started, how you said you were quite shy in the beginning. So what kind of motivate? Where did you start off with? This whole journey.
So I guess well for me, like when I was at uni and stuff, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I mean. Luckily, I managed to lose my virginity at uni, but if it hadn't been for like a one drunken night, God knows when I would have gotten laid the first time. It was I didn't know what I was doing. Basically, I had absolutely no idea. I didn't really know how it was supposed to work either. I didn't really know how other guys were doing it. And I just didn't really think to kind of proactively find out how to do it. It was only really until later, like maybe when I was like 23, 24, something like that, when I started thinking about like how the fuck are guys actually meeting girls? How the fuck are you supposed to do it? Because I kind of always assumed it was just like you have to have a social circle and you have to meet girls that way. Or I know that Tinder existed and some people were meeting people from Tinder, but even that I kind of thought like it's just a bit shit really. And then obviously I stumbled upon YouTube. all the prank stuff. I started off, watching the American prank guys in college campuses who were like,
Was that like simple pickup?
yeah, Simple Pickup, Vitali, Laugh, Big Doors, all of those guys. They were doing videos which were like incorporating pickup with the pranks. That kind of inspired me to do it as well. But I kind of, it didn't surprise me too much that you were able to kind of like flirt with girls, random girls, and potentially get a phone number, but to actually meet up with them and actually date them and actually have them potentially be your girlfriend. That's really when it was in my head like a light bulb moment where I was like, holy fuck, this is actually incredible. And then I stumbled upon some UK day gamer guys doing it. And that kind of blew my mind, where it's just like you can just randomly meet up with just some random girl on the street in public in London, chat to her for like 5 minutes, get her phone number, and actually meet up with her for a date and actually have her potentially be your girlfriend. Like that to me was like, holy fuck, this is like game changing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, similar for me. I found a simple pickup. I was looking at the pranks as well. And then I started trying to go out, do it, like talking to groups with my mate, like trying to do a bit of pranks. But yeah, that's awesome. So you lost your virginity when you were like 19, was it? Or how old were you?
No, I was like 21.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It's just like a drunken one night stand, and just by luck, really, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing back then. Like, I mean, the first time I went into a club, right, within like 5 minutes, like I felt someone like slap me on the ass, and okay, it might have been a guy taking the piss, or it might have been a gay guy, or it might have been a girl. But I just didn't act upon it. I didn't even bother to like look and see if it was a girl who did it. But because I was just completely fucking clueless. I just didn't know what I was doing at all. Nothing.
That's funny.
And I was really awkward and even like just super shy around. I remember there was like a couple of girls that did kind of like flirt with me a couple of times. Just didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to handle the situation. I'm just a confused, vulnerable person. I don't know.
Yeah, because you said you went to an all-boys school or something, was that right? Or private
Yeah,
school?
that's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I went to an all-boys school as well, actually, for secondary school. So I didn't really have any exposure to girls at all throughout my life, except for like my, some family friends. Other than that, nothing.
Yeah, that must have been tough. Yeah. So then you started seeing the videos, watching the prank videos, and then when was your first like actual open? Like when was the first time? Do you remember your first cold approach? What was that like?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. So like this was this was in Camden Town, just outside the tube station. I saw this one girl. She wasn't really that hot, but I just thought, what, fuck it, whatever. She was just standing there, presumably, waiting for someone outside the tube station. And I literally was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I was just deliberating over it for a good 20 minutes, just like, trying to prepare myself in my head, like, fuck, I need to go approach her. Fuck, I need to go approach her. Literally, the 20-minute internal dialogue of me just kind of thinking about doing it and really wanting to do it, but not doing it. I just kind of procrastinating for 20 minutes. Eventually, I did do it. And I just went up to her. I didn't know anything about like how to do it, so I just went up to her and I went, "Hi, excuse me. This is really random, but I saw you from over there. I think you look nice. Can I get your number?" And she did actually give me her number. She actually gave me her number. Maybe because she felt sorry for me or whatever, or she felt like I was being vulnerable, so she kind of warmed to me or something. But yeah, she gave me her number. And because I was completely clueless, I kind of waited a week to text her. I waited one entire week to text her. And then, of course, she flaked. But at least, it was good. It was a good experience because at least I knew it from that point onwards. This can actually work. And I knew that, if I work on this a bit, then actually, something could happen.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, guys, you definitely don't want to wait a week. That's obviously we didn't know what we're doing. So then, okay, you did that, and then what was the first sort of breakthrough moment when you were like, oh fuck, this is awesome. Like, I don't know, your first few success or something that kind of like switched something, a light bulb, like fuck, this is really possible.
Yeah. Well, actually, from that point onwards, like I was doing a few more approaches, but there was still very kind of shit interactions, very, very short and bad interactions. I mean, this was around 2013, 2014. Yeah, 2013, 2014, something like that. So I didn't really know exactly what I was doing. But yeah, I just kind of I did kind of similar things again, just very, very short interactions. I was just like, hi, saw you from over there, thought you looked nice. What's your name? Where are you from? What are you up to? Can I get your number? like literally like a 30-second or 1 minute interaction. Yeah, and then there's this. I remember this one Italian girl, went on a date with her, and yeah, it worked out quite well. It was it worked out really good. And yeah, I went on a few dates with her, but it kind of ended after a while. But again, that was just because I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't really know what I was doing in general anyway. But I didn't know how to do a date. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing on dates. I mean, this was like probably the first proper date I had ever had, like a proper date. And then just with a bit more experience, it's got better and better. And then I managed to get like my first girlfriend from Daygame for a little while, and then
Where was the girlfriend from?
Czech.
Oh, nice. Czech.
Awesome. Yeah, Czech. Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome, man. So there's a lot of guys, they want to start doing this stuff, and they just watch a lot of theory, as we said on the video before. They just spend hours or years watching it. I mean, did you have any pain for you?
Me, no, I was the opposite. I didn't do any fucking theory. Like, I just went straight in. It was like, fuck it. I should have actually spent a little bit more time myself, actually, on the theory, because, well, in the end, it doesn't matter too much, but at least I would have known a bit more what I was doing. But no, I just kind of went straight in. I just saw a couple of guys doing it, spent like an hour just watching a couple of people, didn't really take it in, like the theory, nothing like that. And I just kind of went and tried it, and then But then eventually, just over the years, I understood more about the theory, and then got better and better.
Yeah, I mean that's the best thing to do though, like less theory, more action. Because I think a lot of guys, they binge watch a lot of your content, other people's dating coaches' content, but they never take any action. So it's better to be the guy who implements more than he consumes. You want to be the guy who's out there doing it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And what was like kind of
it's too easy to like just immerse yourself in the theory. It's just the easy way to do it, but you can't do just that. It's never going to lead to anywhere,
Exactly. And then what was kind of driving you this whole time? What was motivating you? Was it any like pain? Because a lot of guys, they felt like they were missing out, or what was like the biggest?
I wouldn't say pain. I felt like I was missing out. Yeah, definitely felt like I was missing out. That was actually probably the biggest thing actually that kind of drove me. I felt like I was missing out because I was already in my 20s, at that point, and I'm like, fuck, other guys are like, other guys have got hot girlfriends. Why can't I do it? I knew I was missing something. I knew I was missing something, and I knew I needed some knowledge, and I needed to kind of know how to implement it. And I knew I was missing out. I knew I was missing out on the best years. And that's if I have any regret, it's just that I didn't get into this earlier. Because if I had got into this like around uni time, my God, it would have been like one heck of an experience.
Sorry, say that again. You wish you'd known about it when you were.
Yeah, I wish I'd known about this stuff way earlier, man. Like if I'd have known about Daygame and stuff in my uni days, oh my God, that would have been fun.
I know what you mean. I mean,
because the thing is, like I think that like with younger girls, it's actually kind of more fun. Like the older the girls get, the more cynical they become, the more likely they're going to want to have like a long-term relationship. Whereas with younger girls, it's just kind of like more, I guess it's kind of easier to kind of have fun with them, just as a generalization. And I'm not saying that you can't do it now when you're older. Of course, you still can do it, but it's just easier to do it when you're both at uni, you're in the same boat. And yeah, like if you've got game and you're at uni, you can do some serious damage.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't do that at all.
I mean, I dropped out of uni, so I can't say. I mean, I went to uni late myself. I dropped out after a few months. So I was also shy as well. I mean, I started getting into this stuff when I was 19, to be honest. So I was pretty young, 19. But I didn't go to uni. Like I didn't do the normal route. I pretty much dropped out. But Yeah, my mate yesterday. I don't think it's ever too late for guys to get into it necessarily.
No.
Because what was I going to say? Sorry. Yeah, because my mate yesterday, he's actually 60, but he looks about 40, so he's jacked. He actually went through 2 marriages, 2 divorces, and he's still out there. Like now he's out there. Getting 30-year-olds. So I think obviously ideally you want to get into this stuff a bit younger, but some guys don't find out this information till later. So you can still, take action, but it's better
Yeah,
to
the
find.
thing is with day game, like anyone can do it. It doesn't matter like what your current status is, and that applies to like your financial status, your social status, your life status, your age. It doesn't matter like what stage you're at. You can still do day game. It's just that if it is, you just have to kind of like objectively assess your sexual market value, and if it's on the lower side, okay, realistically, you're not going to be getting in bed with supermodels on a regular basis. It's going to be very difficult. But it doesn't mean you can't do day game. I mean, if you lower your standards enough, or if you approach, a certain demographic of women more than others, then yeah, you're going to have the odds more in your favor. But anyone can do day game, and that's the thing. And day game is always going to be far superior in terms of the results that it yields compared to online dating or social circle, unless you're lucky enough to have an available hot girl in your social circle. But not
Yeah,
everyone is that lucky.
yeah, day game is definitely the best way to meet people, in my opinion. But yeah, so that's cool, man. You felt like you were missing out, and then you start taking massive action. Then you were just how much were you going out? Would you say back in the day?
Not that much actually. Just like to be honest, I didn't do that many like dedicated sessions like by myself. I did a bit now and again, like I'd go out for an hour or something by myself or with a wing. But I'd normally just integrate it like when I was filming and stuff, like when I was doing the pranks back in the day. Like I would do, I would at the end of like filming, I'd spend like another hour just with my camera guy or whoever I was with, just picking up girls for like an hour or something. And then, I'd get like at least one number before heading home. That was like a little rule I set for myself. Like I got to get at least one number before I go home. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, yeah. And then like as I got better, more experience, I started integrating it more into my life. And when you do that, it massively skyrockets like the amount of approaches that you can potentially do and the amount of options that you have. And so you're not necessarily reliant on doing that day game session all the time. You can just kind of more integrate it into your life. So as you're just generally out and about, you see that hot girl, you approach her, and if you do that over time, like a little bit, like every day, yeah, it's as effective, if not more so, than doing dedicated sessions.
yeah. I think in the beginning it could be good to go out, but eventually you want to just become that guy who meets people. You just socialize with everyone because, in my opinion, obviously you want to meet girls, but I'm going to come on to this, but with yourself, like it's not just about getting laid. That's just a byproduct of doing it. But the journey, you went on is who you become. You become more confident. You started traveling. You're in Ukraine, Mexico. So it's not just about women. This is really about becoming more confident in general and just socializing. Don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. Because when you like boil it down, like what is day game? Day game is just talking to people. It's just talking to
Exactly.
girls. That's all it is. It's just saying hello to the girl. If she's a nice person, then you have a conversation. If you get along with each other, maybe you get her phone number. And if you both like each other, maybe you go on a date. And then from there, who knows what can happen. So that's all it is fundamentally. And it's not even a big deal. It's not that big a deal. It's just talking to someone. People
Mm.
like paint this big picture of it being this monumental occasion. It's not. It's just having a chat with someone. It's
Yeah,
not a big deal. And the
exactly.
girl, if she rejects you, she's not going to remember it. She's not. She's going to forget about it in like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
And if
exactly.
and if
Yeah.
it's a blowout, she might even forget about it even sooner. Maybe after like 20 seconds.
Yeah, I mean that comes onto a big reason. Like we've taken action, but why do you think like a lot of guys they drop out or they can't overcome rejection? Because me and you have had to face a lot of rejection. So what's been some of your
Yeah.
mindsets with doing that?
Yeah,
Overcoming it.
like you say, it's a mindset. You just have to be strong internally, and you need to like know what you want, and you just have to be fully have that full conviction that this is what you want to do. And you have to obviously appreciate the fact that it's a massive numbers game, and not every girl you're going to speak to is going to be give you a super positive reaction, and you need to have like a kind of like a sales mindset where you just know that the vast majority of the girls are not going to be interested in dating you, but that's okay because there will be a minority who will, and that's what you need to focus on. That's where you need to think like, oh, okay, this one is showing a bit of interest. Oh, okay, this one's showing a bit of interest. Play it like that. It's having a sales mindset. Like, people who are like entrepreneurs or business people, they totally get this. But for some people, it's a bit of a new concept, and it takes getting used to. But
Exactly.
some people really get it. Others need a bit more time.
People don't like to compare the analogy to sales, but if you think about it, it is like sales. I mean, like Ed was saying about SMV, if guys don't know what that means, it's like your sexual market value. Like, you are the product. So when you go and speak to someone, they are judging your product. Like, is he a good product? Like, looks obviously looks are important, but they're not everything. As Ed said in another video, like, max out where you can, get in good shape, like get into lean body fat, be well groomed, go to the gym, have an interesting social life. But yeah, the girls are judging you like, is he going to be a good product? They're not consciously thinking this, it's like subconscious. So you guys need to max out on awareness. What do you think about that, Ed? Become the best.
100%. Yeah, like there's like with the social skills that we tend to obviously focus a lot more on in the day game, that will only take you so far. You can have the best game in the world, like social ability, charisma, etc. But if you look like shit, or if you haven't got your life sorted out, or you're struggling in some other areas, it's just not going to work out. You're not going to be able to have that lifestyle that's necessary for this. And the girl is going to sense it eventually, and she is going to lose attraction. Like, for example, if she's used to a certain lifestyle and you're not capable of living up to that certain lifestyle, she's going to realize, and she's just going to not be interested. Like, I've had that even myself in the past, where I remember like there was this like super hot Brazilian girl that I met in London, and she was used to like a bit more of a lavish lifestyle. She worked in a very kind of high end sort of job herself, and she was used to guys really putting in a lot of effort on dates, like really kind of spoiling her. I kind of made it clear that that's not my vibe. I don't do that, which is I don't regret that at all. That's just how I roll. But then she was like, no, this isn't going to work out between me and you, and which is fair enough. But if you take that to an extreme, you need to be able to do at least the basic stuff. You need to be able to a lot of it, in the financial sense, you need to be able to kind of do the things that the girl would expect. And that doesn't mean buying her a bunch of shit, buying her gifts and stuff. But I mean, like, a certain lifestyle which will enable you to kind of live up to just basic stuff, like going on dates, doing activities, not looking like shit, etc.
Yeah, exactly. And you started traveling a lot now. So, like, what made you want to travel a lot? Because guys probably don't know this, but if you're sitting in a country right now and your SMV is very relative, so you might be getting treated like shit in your country now, but take yourself to Mexico, for example, another country, and you're going to get treated better. Like I was saying in the beginning, I started watching this guy called Nomad Capitalist, and he says, go where you're treated best. So like some countries, they're not going to treat you well. So if you're not treated well, just go somewhere else. So what kind of motivated you to start traveling a lot, and how have you noticed any differences in the girls compared to the UK, obviously?
Yeah, it's massive in most places. I guess for me, I like traveling to new places, or at least certain places which I just like. It's not even just about the girls; it's also just general stuff. Like the culture is different, the weather's better, the vibe can be a lot better. Like in Playa in Mexico, the vibe there is amazing. It's just completely different to London. Like, to me, I find London a bit depressing. Like the people are fucking a bit depressing. The weather's are always shit, and it's like 5 days of weather a year. It's just kind of, you can do better than that. And so like, yeah, it's just about doing the things that you want to do. And maybe in the future I might change my mind and spend more time in the UK. But if you can, yeah, it's definitely worth it to travel. And as far as like girls are concerned, I think, yeah, it's just hugely different. Just generally speaking, I would say that, when you go abroad to some certain areas, the girls are generally more attractive. They are more feminine. They're more friendly. They're easier to speak to. They're more open-minded. And these are all the things that you really, 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 really want when it comes to day game.
Oh yeah.
Because, yeah, these are like kind of requirements in a lot of ways actually for day game. And that's why you get more girls not being interested in certain places like the UK or Germany, for example. Whereas
Oh
you go
right. Yeah.
to somewhere like Mexico, the amount of girls that are interested in you is much higher, and that is partly obviously because of the gringo factor, the sexual market economics that are taking place there. But you might as well take advantage of that. I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, if the girls are more attractive
Yeah. Why
there
not?
and they're more attracted to you, it makes sense to kind of,
Yeah. I mean, why? Yeah. I mean, because some guys are like, oh, that's cheating going to Mexico, but it's like, well, why? If the girls are hotter and they treat you better, like, well,
if you
why
say it's
not?
cheating, you're taking it far too seriously.
Yeah.
Taking it
Exactly.
far too seriously.
Yeah. I mean, how
Like I
important?
would say, like, okay, like if you want to go to somewhere, don't go just for the girls.
No,
That should
don't
be
do
one
that.
consideration. But go there because you actually want to go there as well. You're like, for example, you might prefer somewhere a bit closer to home. You might prefer Spain or Italy, for example. Um,
Mm.
Even if you say, for example, you go to Italy because of the cultural stuff or the historical stuff, that might be something that you might be interested in. And obviously, Italian girls are super hot, but they might be a bit more difficult to get with or to go on dates with.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in the culture as well, then Italy would be a fantastic option.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just travel to a country for the girls. Obviously, that's great. That's a bonus. But if you like the culture, the lifestyle, Mexico's cheaper. I personally like Thailand a lot. So go where you're treated best. Don't just go for the women. Obviously, that is important, but that's not the main thing. If you like the food, etc., lots of things you can do there. But how important would you say the looks are? Because a lot of guys online, you've probably seen these stupid channels talking about, oh, it's all about looks and money. Those guys who are talking
Yeah,
about you've got to have the perfect jawline and all
yeah,
this
yeah.
kind of bollocks. What do you think
I
about that?
mean, yeah, I mean, with looks, I mean, they do obviously matter when it comes to dating. In my opinion, when it comes to like the actual day game, your looks and her looks doesn't really matter that much in terms of like your success rate. And what I mean by that is it doesn't matter if the girl's a 5 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. Generally speaking, she's going to react irrespective of that. So she's going to
Yeah.
be not interested regardless of if she's hot or if she's not very hot. And the same with you. If you're like looking like a model, then um, your ability to, in terms of like the first, like say 5 seconds of the interaction, isn't going to make much of a difference. It's more about like your vibe, your non-verbal communication, how well you project, how well you convey yourself, um, these kinds of factors, and how good you are in terms of like getting the girls to stop, etc., etc., etc. That's far more important actually than looks. Looks matter far more when it comes to actually the girl seeing you as a potential dating prospect. I mean, that's undeniable. Obviously, looks are important. She's
Yeah,
going
they
to
are.
want
Yeah.
to shoot at her level or above, and most guys want the same thing as well.
Mm.
So, yeah, it matters. It matters for dating.
Yeah, it does matter.
It's
So
one
that's why.
of many factors. But obviously, guys place far more emphasis on it than girls do. A lot of girls will actually genuinely tell you they don't care that much about the guy's look. Some girls care a lot more about looks than others. A lot of girls really don't care that much.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Dan's asking where's Ed at. Ed is in Ukraine right now. Yeah.
No, I
Miss
am. Yeah,
Mexico
yeah,
loads. Yeah. Yeah, Dan. Yeah, Dan, the one in Mexico you met.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, so, like, what's the common? I know what's the most common limiting beliefs you've seen then, guys who don't want to do the journey because obviously you've gone through it. I think it's fear of rejection, isn't it? They don't think they're not good looking enough. What other limiting beliefs have you seen coming up from guys?
I guess, well, there's a few common ones, like, for example, should I be doing this? As you know, just a basic thing, like, should I really be doing this? Because obviously not that many guys approach in general, so they're kind of think, oh shit, should I be doing this? You know, sometimes it's like, am I worthy enough to do this? And that comes from kind of like self-esteem and lack of confidence in general. But yeah, I mean, I guess those are like the main reasons to not approach. But a lot of it, I'd say the most common one really is the fact that you're trying to express romantic intent towards the girl. That's probably the biggest thing. That guys kind of.
They don't want to show that. They don't want to show romantic intent, like they're afraid to do that.
So early to a new person. That's kind of the biggest fear for a lot of guys, because a lot of guys can probably go up to someone and like do something basic, like I don't know, ask for directions or something. But actually declaring your romantic interest, that for a lot of guys can really be a struggle. But also just going up and just talking to someone, if you've got like more social anxiety, that can, for some people, can be really difficult as well. Just the mere act of just going up to someone and actually just having a chat, that can be really tough. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys, they're afraid to show their intent. Like, as they say, don't hide your dick. I've heard that one before. So you want to show your intent, because guys don't want to put it on the line. But we advocate direct. Me and Ed, because you can go indirect sometimes, as we made a video on it, but only in certain situations. But I think indirect can really waste a lot of your time, to be honest. So
it's a bit. I think there is some nuance to it. I mean, okay, like on the street, like 99% of the time, you should go direct. I think indirect can be kind of okay in some situations, like in an event, for example, or in some kind of like venue. Maybe in a restaurant, for example, going indirect can be a bit more calibrated. But other than that, direct is way better. If it's very much like a public place, like not necessarily even just the street. It can be like a shopping center, a train station, just something that's very, very public and open. Direct is definitely the way to go, and there's a lot of people there as well. Direct for sure.
100%. Yeah, I've seen Edgame, guys. He's good, very good. He doesn't give a fuck, because he's done a lot of pranks. So I really recommend to guys as well, just have fun, because you can't take this too seriously at the end of the day. This is just like, treat it as fun. It's not supposed to be taken too seriously. A lot of guys doing stats. I need to know my approach to lay ratio, all this kind of crap. It's just like, just enjoy the process.
It's over-analyzing it, isn't it? You don't need to do that. It's for some guys come from that kind of background of like being super analytical, which is fair enough. I kind of get that. I'm a bit OCD with some things as well, but I think like being so results focused can kind of screw you in a lot of ways, because it just takes the enjoyment away from it, because you genuinely do have to enjoy doing this. Exactly. That's one thing that a lot of guys overlook. They don't actually enjoy it. They're so focused on this like self-development, self-improvement stuff that they forget that actually, wait a minute, this is supposed to be a fun activity. I should actually be enjoying this. So always remember that you should be genuinely enjoying doing it. And if you're not, then then
you have to enjoy the process, like, because obviously when you do the process, you're going to get results anyway. But you don't want to be so outcome dependent, basically.
Like a lot of guys are like, oh fuck, I didn't get any numbers today, shit, it's a failure. Or fuck, I haven't been on any dates this month, fuck. Or I haven't got laid for like a couple months, shit.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's too much. You're putting a lot of pressure on yourself as well, and it just takes away from the enjoyment.
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
Yeah. So at the same time, it's a bit of a balancing act, because you do kind of need to push yourself, and you do need to have, you need to kind of know what it is you want and what you're going for, that kind of thing. And yeah, you do need to be a little bit in the back of your mind, like, okay, that I want to try and aim for this or whatever, but don't be so kind of like results focused in terms of like, oh fuck, I didn't get any numbers today. You need to be okay with, some days you're just going to go out for maybe 2 hours and you're going to get absolutely nothing. You have to be okay with that.
Yeah, you have to be
It
okay.
happens to everyone. It happens to everyone.
Yeah, 100%. So what are your plans now? Because you're in Ukraine, are you gonna stay there or go to Mexico?
I'm not sure actually. I'll probably head back to Mexico at some point. I'm not sure exactly when. Maybe later on this year, or maybe next year, sort of the early parts. I wouldn't mind going to Colombia as well. Actually, that'd be quite cool. But
Colombia is now open, I heard. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Is it actually? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Completely open. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a bit tricky before, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit dangerous. They had some protests, but now it's open. So yeah, that'll be good. And yeah, so no UK then. Just leave the UK.
Yeah, it's a bit shit, really. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, people are kind of saying in the UK that once things start opening up a bit, it's going to be better. But I don't know, man. It's like it's in a lot of ways, it's actually kind of worse than it used to be because a lot of the foreign girls that were in London have left because of COVID. Maybe they'll come back and maybe there'll be more tourists again. But until that happens, London isn't quite the same as what it was, in my opinion. But if you're a Londoner and you're living in London, don't think about that too much. Don't overthink it. Just work
Still
with
go
what you
out
got.
anyway.
Just work with what you got. Travel if you can, for sure. 100% would recommend. But don't be so like, oh fuck, there's no point doing day game now because all the foreign girls have left. It's kind of bullshit. You just have to work with what you've got and don't overthink it too much. There's plenty worse places in the world than London, that's for sure, for day game.
Yeah, London's not bad. I mean, London is really good, to be honest. Usually I love London as well. But yeah, if you're in London now, just make the most of it. Go out anyway, take action. As Ed said, just make the most of your situation, basically. But yeah, that's awesome, man. And now, obviously you're getting results with Ukrainian girls. I mean, the quality is probably a lot higher, I imagine, isn't it? Than Mexico. Is this probably the highest quality
I'd say
in the world?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably up there with the best in the world, along with probably Russia. I've not actually been to Russia yet, but yeah, I've heard good things about Russia. But yeah, Ukraine, yeah, unbelievably hot. The girls here, like you can literally just walk down the road for like 1 minute, and there'll be like at least 2 or 3 absolute fucking models walking down.
Wow,
it's crazy. It's actually insane over here. It's just a whole nother level. Like, yeah, like I remember the first time I came here, I was absolutely gobsmacked by how hot the girls are and how like shit it is elsewhere.
I mean,
in
that's
comparison.
a good point, though. Getting desensitized to beauty, you talked about that because sometimes guys freeze up, when they see a hot girl.
Yeah,
they really can't relax. But it's important to desensitize yourself, guys. So that's why Ukraine is a good place, because when you come back to the UK or another country, you're not going to be so intimidated by beauty.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're one of those guys that does get intimidated by the extremely hot girls, Ukraine is a really good place to go to get desensitized to that. There are other places in Europe as well which do have extremely hot girls as well, like Serbia is good as well. Poland is as well.
You said Serbia. Serbia's quite brutal. I mean, you can get results. I heard it's a lot of blowouts
there. Kind of. The thing is in Serbia is the girls just walk really fucking fast for some reason. They all just walk super fucking fast. So you have to do a really good front stop. But if you're good at front stopping, then yeah, Serbia's okay. They're not rude. They're actually quite nice and friendly, but you just have to do a really good fucking front stop. Otherwise, yeah, you're gonna get a lot of blowouts. Here as well, you get a lot of blowouts as well. Like in Ukraine, you get a lot of blowouts.
Oh right.
Yeah, even this year actually, in one area where I am in Odessa in Arcadia, you get me and the clients who have been experiencing way more blowouts than last year for some reason. I'm not sure why exactly, but yeah. The thing is in Ukraine, yeah, you get a lot of girls who are just, the culture's can be a bit cold initially, or then maybe they just think you're some random salesperson, because there are a few of those sales guys on the streets,
just,
handing out leaflets or trying to get you to just whatever. And the culture here is very much a I don't give a fuck attitude about most things. And so, you know, you approach someone on the street, it's just like, no, don't give a fuck. I'm just going to carry on. So even though, like, you know, I'm always going on about how hot the girls are here, it's not without its difficulties. It's not a perfect place. Like it's quite hard to get laid here, and yeah, you do get a lot of blowouts. There's certainly easier places, like compared to Mexico. It's fucking like way easier to approach there than it is here.
Yeah, Mexico was way easier, man. Yeah, that's true. I'll have to find
And
out.
Even in Mexico, like, you get a lot of guys like selling shit on the street, even, well, at least in Playa, you get a lot of guys like selling shit on the streets and even catcalling girls as well. And that can really fuck it up for the next guy who wants to actually do a proper approach. But even then, if you got a solid approach, then it's just way easier to actually, get them to stop. Mainly because it's more of like a sort of touristy holiday kind of destination. And so people are less in a rush. So there's that as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I know we've been on a while, and I was going to say any final thoughts you want to say about your journey, or anything you want to say to guys out there?
Yeah, I would say, like, if I can do it, you can do it. Like, I'm nothing special. I've just got a bit more experience than the next guy, but honestly, if I can do it, anyone can do it. And that's the thing. Like, I always go on about this, but like, day game is something that any guy can do. Doesn't matter what your limiting beliefs are. Doesn't matter what your situation is. You can still do it. Whether that means having to lower your standards a little bit, so be it, until you work on your sexual market value a bit more. Anybody can do day game, and I would highly recommend it because it's way better than all the other options if you actually care about dating girls.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. You know, Ed's made a lot of massive progress. I used to be very shy. I was really awkward. I also got laid the first time when I was 19 randomly. That was just lucky, pretty much. So if we can do it, you know, you guys can do it. But yeah, you do want to stop relying on online dating and actually go out, meet people in real life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just better. I think that obviously online dating is really shit. Like, I think it's really shit. But if it works for you, then, you know, have it as another string to your bow. But obviously, with day game, you are gonna get better girls, or get higher quality girls than you will from online dating. 100%. Like, that's just completely out. Like, not even. You can't even question that. That's just indisputable. But I think, like, you know, if you do get some results from online dating, just have it as another string to your bow.
Yeah,
like, I would definitely recommend primarily focusing on day game and just, you know, swiping a bit, like when you're just killing time, like when you're taking a shit or when you're waiting for the bus or something.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend.
So if you guys
if
you guys want to get coaching, you can drop Ed an email, or you can drop myself an email. I'm in the UK, Ed's in the Ukraine, so I'll put Ed's channel below, so you guys can subscribe to Ed's channel. And if you want to go to Eastern Europe, Ed's there now. So yeah, you can meet.
I'm going to be here probably for maybe at least another month or two. So yeah.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Yeah, well, I want to get out of the UK soon as well. So, maybe I can meet up with you in Ukraine.
Yeah, I would recommend it. And if there's no time, then hopefully Latin America again, because Latin America. Because the thing is, obviously, we spend a lot of time in Playa, but there's a lot of places, like Latin America is huge, man. You've got like the main places are like Mexico, Colombia, and Brazil, probably, and Argentina kind of as well. But if you're someone who's like really adventurous, you know, if you go to like some random ass like city in like Argentina or Brazil, that can be one heck of an experience. And I know like a lot of guys are a little bit scared of going to Latin America because it's a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
And it kind of is, and it isn't, because, you know, when I was in Mexico, I spent like like nearly 4 or 5 months in Mexico, and I had absolutely nothing dodgy happen to me. Absolutely nothing. Everything was super, super safe.
Mexico is really
As long
safe.
as you're not a complete twat and you get smashed at night and you're like flashing your cash and your watch and your phone and everything, as long as you're not like that, you should be absolutely fine, you know.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah. Mexico was safe because there's a lot of like people have a lot of stereotypes about these kind of countries, but once you go there, you know, it's not too bad. But yeah, obviously there are some really dodgy places in Central America, which I would definitely avoid. These are not really touristy places anyway. Like places like Honduras, I heard is really bad, or Venezuela. These kind of countries, you do definitely.
Venezuela's, that's really dodgy there. But I think like a lot of the Venezuelan girls have moved to like Colombia, as like because of the situation in Venezuela anyway. So that's another reason why Colombia is really good.
Colombia.
And there's quite a few in Mexico as well, actually. Yeah.
Exactly. But my plan is to actually go to Asia, to be honest, as well. So some countries are opening up in Asia, so I want to go to. I mean, some of these countries you have to quarantine and all this kind of crap. But Thailand. I think South Korea is open. I know you're not really into Asian girls, but that's on the list.
You do get tourists there as well. I don't know if there's many tourists there now, but you get tourists from like Australia and stuff as well over there.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I might go Thailand. It's an option, but it's not that high up there for me at the moment.
Have you been to
seems
Thailand?
Like a fun place. I know I've never been there. I've never actually been in that area of the world before.
Asia, you've never been, yeah.
I don't think I've ever been to Asia, actually. I've been to Egypt. That's about as close as to Asia. I know it's not actually Asia, but it's Africa. But no, I don't think I've actually ever been to Asia. No.
Yeah, no, I definitely recommend it. But yeah, I mean, obviously, as Ed was saying earlier, you don't need to go for the girls, but obviously if you are attracted to a certain type of girl, then you know, you can definitely go to that country as well. But Asia is Thailand is awesome, man. 100%.
Yeah. And I think, like I would just recommend, like the thing is, the further out of the UK you go, in my opinion, the better it is. So like, let's say you're like, oh, I want to travel, let's go to Amsterdam or let's go to Paris. It's just going to be like just boring, in my opinion. Like
quite
Amsterdam,
boring,
Amsterdam, for example, is full of English people. My God. It's like full of like stag parties and shit. It's just like, fuck this.
Exactly. That's why.
Like if I travel abroad, I do not want to meet any English people straight up, unless they're my friends or whatever, or like or like people like you, like traveling people, like if it's like full of like stag dudes and drunken English people, then I'm just for fuck's sake.
Yeah, they're pretty annoying.
But luckily, in these places, you don't get too many of that.
Yeah, that's why like me and Ed was saying, go where you're treated best, because like holidays like Magaluf, Ibiza, to be honest, they're just full of like drunk English guys, and they're like sausage fests. So I think you want to go where you're kind of exotic, you're a bit shiny. So you end up meeting a lot of cool guys when you travel. I think the coolest people I've met have been whilst traveling. So try to avoid the main touristy areas like Magaluf, Ibiza, or I think even Prague has become a bit saturated now, apparently.
Yeah, well, you say that about any European hotspot. Like it's the same for Budapest. It's the same for Belgrade. It's the same for Zagreb. It's the same for Berlin. Same for Krakow, Warsaw. All the major European places are saturated as fuck. To be honest, like even Ukraine there's guys here coming over because they know the girls are hot. Don't even worry about it. Just crack on. Because London is fucking saturated as fuck, but it doesn't mean you can't approach a girl there and go on a date and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, London is saturated.
It's easy to be negative about this and make up excuses for why you shouldn't do it anymore. Oh, it's getting saturated here. Oh, there's no point doing it anymore. But you just have to deal with the situation. And okay, let's say you approach a girl and she's already been approached. So what? Doesn't matter. Just try your luck, and maybe she's been approached before, and she's not going to want to be approached again, and she's going to blow you out because of that. or maybe she's been approached before, and then you approach her and she likes you more. That's certainly possible. Or maybe she gives out her phone number to the previous guy and she gives out her phone number to you. She goes for the other guy. You have to be okay with that. Or maybe she goes for you. Great, but you have to be okay with that and not take it so seriously and not be so invested in that phone number or that girl. Be like, yes, I got her phone number. She's probably been approached 10 times today. I'm the winner. It's like, come on.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it's been good to talk with you, Ed. I'll speak to you on WhatsApp because I know we've been on quite a while now. What's your plans? And today are you doing some coaching or just
no, today I'm well actually today I'm gonna chill for a bit, and then I'm supposed to have a date later, see if that's happening, and then
I've actually got a date as well later as well in a few hours, in Brighton. I'm just gonna meet a mate now and then go on a date. It was actually from a supermarket approach.
Oh, nice, cool.
But I'll just ignore that comment there because I don't want to talk to trolls really on here. I don't know if you can see the comments.
Me? No, I can't. Where does it say that? Where does it say?
No, it's just saying, what's your lay counts? Asians don't count. Yeah.
The thing is people who talk about lay counts and stuff, it's just so pointless. It's like you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're like we were talking about earlier. It's like you're focusing too much on the results and what you're getting from it. It's like, oh, I need to get laid. I need to get laid. I need to get laid. That's gonna
that's the wrong mindset.
Detrimental to actually enjoying it. It's like, okay, if you do get laid, fantastic, enjoy it. But don't always go in there on this focus about lays. Oh, I need to get this lay count so I can impress my friends, or I can talk about.
Yeah, I mean, guys are talking about lay counts to actually impress other guys. It's like, nobody really cares. As you're saying, just enjoy the process. Stop focusing so much on the results, and focus on your own results. It doesn't matter what about lay counts. Yeah, that's just anyway, guys seem to be obsessed with it, so like RSD's lay count is 500. This guy's saying, Owen, no one cares, man.
No one cares. Just do your best. Don't get so focused on trying to get laid.
Exactly.
That's what I would recommend, because it's just gonna it's just gonna kind of it's just going to kind of depress you because there's always going to be moments when you're going to have periods when you're not getting laid for whatever reason. Maybe it's bad luck or some circumstance, whatever. There's going to be times when you're not going to get laid, but when you're so focused on your lay count and getting laid, it's just going to screw you, man. It's just going to depress you. You're going to feel inadequate, and it's just the wrong mentality. You need to be okay with a lot, and you need to be okay with not that much at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll end it there, and have fun, man, on your date today in Ukraine. Yeah?
Cheers. I'm not sure if it's happening just yet, though. I need to confirm it, but we'll see.
Okay. All right.
You as well.
Thanks. I'll speak to you on WhatsApp. All right.
Yeah. Cool.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Cheers. See you later.
Thanks.